Hi, I am Vidyanshu Shekharja. I have secured all-day rank 59th in UPSC Civil Service Exam 2024, hoping to get IAS. Presently, I'm in Indian Forest Service and as trainee probationer, and before this, I was in Danix. So during my this attempt, I thought that where is it that I can improve? Because I was already in an all-India service, the stakes were very high for me. It would be only IAS, IPS, other services I would not even be joining. So essay was one paper where in 2022 civil service exam, I had 107 marks. So it wasn't a great score, but not bad either. I knew that this paper is very dicey. Either I can have opportunity to scale up my score immensely, or it can even go the other side. So I thought probably I need some mentorship in essay, and that is when I reached out to Jishan sir. Uh, my review would be like today is Sunday and marks are yet not out. But given that I have secured 59th rank and essay paper was one paper I felt very comfortable after finishing the exam. So I believe essay must have gone good. I would like to thank Zishan sir for all the mentorship he provided and the confidence it had given to me in writing the paper. Because I already had some good idea about how to write essay. When I approached sir, I was quite overconfident that okay, I can do well. Sir reviewed my first essay, and the essay I thought I have written one of my best. Sir figured out all the flaws that I had, and that was the moment I realized how many changes I have to do. So usually, like we write a thesis, and we some of us consider antithesis, but most of us ignore. So, sir emphasized this point that not only you have to write for the essay, but also against the topic of essay, antithesis. And also between thesis and antithesis, there has to be a synthesis where you bring out middle ground that what could be the way ahead. So this was one thing that gave uniqueness to my essay, I believe. Other candidates mostly go with thesis, some go with antithesis. So that was one thing. Second thing was that sir brought out one thing you candidates should know that as far as I know, these papers are evaluated mostly by English faculties of probably DU, or at least they are English faculties. So although they are not checking your paper on ground of English, but English does play a role. If you have good grammar, good understanding of English, that will give you an extra edge. Evaluation parameter might be your clarity of thought and exploring diverse areas and having good correlation, but ultimately it is being evaluated by English professors to the best of my knowledge. So here, sir told us about how do you find out figure of speech uh, in an essay. So there are figure of speech like smiley, metaphor, juxtaposition. So what I did was after my introduction, I actually wrote down this thing that the above topic highlights juxtaposition between this and this, or it signifies simile between this and that. So what it does is it gives examiner an impression that okay, even as an English student, you are taking this topic seriously and you are decoding it the way it is supposed to be. You are finding the contrast or simile between two different things. So it really good. Your copy really stands out, and because this is the first paragraph itself, or probably second paragraph, in the second paragraph itself, in the first minute itself, the examiner has an idea that okay, this copy might be something extraordinary. Fine. And third thing was in essay, we often go after example. Okay, in environment angle, this example, in political angle, this example. Sir taught me that it should not be don't overload your question answer sheet with example. Put an argument and then substantiate that argument with an example. So here, sir gave us a three-step formula. That first has to be your argument. Second has to be substantiation of that argument. And third has to be inference. In my previous attempt, I was doing this mistake. कि ठीक है, political angle this, social angle this, economic angle this, example पे example डालते जाओ. But it doesn't have to be like that. आपको अपनी बात रखनी है कि why this has to happen. ठीक है. And then you substantiate this thing. Also, when Sir and I sat together, uh, we created lot of Sir gave us lot of template for introduction and conclusion. So if you start can with this is how perhaps you can begin your introduction. Similarly, even for different kind of topic, we got very ready-made, tailor-made as conclusion. So this thing we used to practice in mock essays that Sir used to give us. And similarly, there was one thing, and Sir would remember, I would be often very I would say very anxious about what anecdote I would write in my exam and what conclusion I would write in exam. I used to be very anxious regarding these anecdotes. So what I used to do was all the practice questions that Sir gave us and all the PYQs that I had. So Sir gave us list of anecdote, list of way template how to start. I would try to practice all these things. That how could I probably start this with some what would be a better fitting anecdote. So, and that helped me immensely in the exam. So I remember after my exam essay paper, I called sir and I said, "Sir, okay, this time I did not have any issues. I had so many anecdotes and so many ending that in exam I was actually struggling to write which anecdote to fit because I had so many. And in fact, I also told sir that the only difficulty I faced in exam hall in essay paper was that which essay to write because I was comfortable with multiple topics, equally comfortable. So that actually took me 5 minutes to figure out which essay should I write. So I'm actually very grateful to sir for that. And this thing I will substantiate with an example. So like when I used to practice this PYQs with sir. So we used to have this interactive session. A lot of students were there. We used to have Zoom meeting. So there was this topic that the simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, one of the previous year questions. So in that, while practicing, this idea of Gandhiji's salt march came to my mind. Ki, for Gandhiji, salt was a very simple thing, but it was something that shook foundations of British Empire. So you see how well it resonates with that topic. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, a very simple thing that was so sophisticated that British got shaken. So this year, there was this essay topic that all ideas with large consequences are simple. 2024, that Gandhiji salt march, that it had a large consequence, but it was so simple that Gandhiji decided to make salt, break the salt law. So you see how the way we practiced him with Sir PYQ and Sir's test, how it helped me in exam. So my exam really became very, very easy there. And similarly, I will tell you. So during our practice, Sir and I sat and we created some list of good poems. We even discussed on the group. We shared list of those collections in the group and even some good conclusion. So there is this poem called Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson, which basically tells you resolution to continue to fight. It begins with something like, though much is taken, much abides, but we are of same strength, we will not give up, we will continue to strive, like that. I'm just telling you what the poem is about. So this time in 2024 paper, there was this topic, doubters are true men of science. So I concluded it that, okay, doubters may be questioned, doubters may fail, but ultimately they are the one who will lead the science and who will lead the world. And then I wrote that the poem Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson very beautifully summarizes this. And then I wrote those 6 7 lines of poem that, though much is taken, much abides, but we are not of that strength, who in old time move earth and heaven, but we will continue to strive to seek and not to yield. So you see how beautifully I created a context that, okay, doubters will try, they will fail, they will be questioned, but ultimately they are the one who will be leading. And then the poem brings out same feeling. So examiner must be very happy कि अरे यार मतलब किस क्या शानदार टोन पे एंड किया है. And after the exam I actually discussed this thing with sir. ठीक है. Similarly, like I was telling you कि the second topic that I wrote was all ideas with large consequences, they are simple. So again, while doing PYQ practice with sir and other test practice with sir, I had this template of conclusion where an anthropologist, Margaret Mead, and because anthropologists deal with human society, so she says that human did not distinguish themselves from apes and they did not become master of this planet when they entered into era of urbanization or agriculture or settled residence. It started when there was this moment of healing of a femur bone, when a human being stayed with a injured companion human being for companion's femur bone to heal. So that was the moment when two humans stayed together for one to heal and then march together. That was the moment that distinguished us from animals, as per anthropologists. So again, you see how beautifully this resonates with the essay topic. All ideas with large consequences are often simple. Okay, so these things we had practiced in our classes, and perhaps the best thing, the best of all, my journey with sir was that one day before actual exam, sir told us that you all come and there will be a Zoom session and there will be one random essay topic and you will have to write for 1.5 hours that one topic. So we were often feeling that chalo, this day we can use for GS1, GS2 revision, but ultimately we came that day. We wrote, and that day while writing, finishing that essay in 1.5 hours, I realized where my pitfall lies. कि ठीक है, I'm still being slightly slow or I'm still taking slightly more time in structuring my essay. So those things I worked upon that day itself. Next day, I wrote a very elaborate essay, very argumentative essay. And had it not been my practice in the previous day, I might have struggled with my time. So I'm actually grateful to sir कि एक दिन पहले इस टेस्ट लेके सर ने expose किया कि where my weaknesses are. Maybe I could have written good essays, but I might have fallen short of time. So next day, I wrote a beautiful essay, but within same time limit. So uh, it was really good experience. And at the end of it, like people are often scared of philosophical essay. I was telling sir, ki, sir, I've fallen so much in love with philosophical essay that if you give me essay on healthcare or women, I will struggle now because I really love philosophical essays now. And after the exam, see, all of us are uncertain how the paper went, what will be the result. But essay was one paper I was very sure that this will hopefully go very well in my favor. Probably I will score extraordinary. And marks are yet not out. Probably today is Sunday 27th. Maybe tomorrow we are expecting marks to come out. But uh, like because I have gotten 59th rank, so I believe essay must have played a pivotal role in that. So that is from my side, and I'm very grateful to Jishan sir for the mentorship. Thank you.